I'm Luke.
I'm Joe.
And I'm Jimmy. And we are What's on the Table. Once again, we decided to, since the first video was a lot more successful than us talking about Jumpstart, that didn't go over
Jumpstart. It was not much of a jumpstart.
You're right. We definitely didn't get off the ground there.
Definitely wasn't a jumpstart.
All right, so we're going back to EDH, talking about more about Commander. So Joe here, as I mentioned before, he's not new to Magic, but he's coming back into it, and so he decided, well, I'm new to Commander, and we told him Commander's a format about building whatever you want, taking a theme of something you want to do and running with it. So, what's one of your favorite things? Period.
Wolves in general.
Yeah.
Everything with this boy is wolves. You should see the room.
It's pretty bad.
Which is funny because you have a cat.
Yeah.
It works.
It does. So he loves wolves. So we decided to build. We helped him build a. It was a 3-color. It was Naya wolf deck, and originally we were using Samut, not the planeswalker, but the creature. Yeah, we were using her as a Naya commander, but then he discovered the card Garruk Cursed Huntsman. He's like, I need to fit black in this deck.
And
so
I came up with the idea of Saskia.
So we came up with Saskia the Unyielding. She's one of the pre-con commanders. I believe she was from 2018.
I think so.
Maybe 20. No, she wasn't. She's from actually. I think she's from the same set as Yidris because she's a 4-color. Because that was the same year that Atraxa came out, and Yidris came out. All those the 4-color commanders came out. So regardless, Saskia she's the commander of the deck. She costs black, red, white, and green. She's a legendary creature, obviously.
And you know the best thing about this deck? It doesn't use blue.
This man does not like blue.
No.
So out of all the budget decks we're going to talk about, this is probably what the cheapest.
Well, so far it is the cheapest out of all the decks we have. I have one that's also pretty low, but this one is probably one of the most budget friendly, at least so far. But as I was saying, Saskia she's 4 mana, as I said. She's Vigilance and Haste, and she's a 3/4. When she enters the battlefield, you either choose a player, and whenever you deal damage to someone, that player also takes the same damage. So with his deck, his whole point of the wolves, you wanted to make tons of wolves and swing wide, killing one person, and by proxy, oh, you don't have anything to block, you're dead. Oh, what? You're also dead. One thing I do think we need, I went over your deck a bit, and one thing I think would also be great is after you've done something like that, you need some way to flicker, as in, and there are plenty of cards in white that do that. Just go, okay, all right, you two are dead, and in cases where you're playing a game where you're not playing just against 4 player or just against in a 4-player pod. If it's a 4-player pod, you wouldn't have to. Then you're like, oh, you two are dead. I'll just kill you. But if you're doing like a 5-person, 6-person, larger pods, then that flickering her will be more important.
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily need her for that. But even still, having a flicker for her, like say, oh, you're the threat right now. Did a lot of damage to him? You did a lot of damage. Oh, you're the threat now. Flicker. Now I'm choosing you. So be able to swap that on the fly. So it can be very helpful.
With Saskia, can you choose?
You only choose when she enters. That's why when you use a flicker ability is when you exile something and it comes right back in. So that means she'll come out and boom, you can choose a new target.
So she's kind of my newer commander. One question that I actually did have about her is if she dies, does it keep going?
No. It's only while she's on board.
Yeah. But still, that effect is broke.
It's a very powerful effect, especially allows you to just swing wide at one person who's not doing so well and kill the actual threat.
So can you, if you target someone, can you attack that same player?
No, it says when.
If you just don't deal double. Because it's to another player.
Oh, okay.
And then
when you control creature control deals damage to a player, does that much damage to the chosen player. No, it actually would double.
So if I target,
it does. So if you target me and you attack me, she will do that much damage to that person. Now,
you're the biggest threat.
Or actually, it says it does that much damage. So in other words, from what I'm reading it would do double damage. Correct us if we're wrong on that.
Please.
We should have. looked that up beforehand.
Well, it's just not something I thought of.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But the way I'm reading it says whenever it does some damage to a player, it deals that much damage to chosen player. So actually, I can see how the way that's worded. I can see how it wouldn't double. Because the way that's worded, it says when it deals combat damage to area, it deals that much damage to the chosen player.
Yeah.
So it
deals exactly that much damage.
So that actually, the way I read that now, I don't think it would actually double.
Fair.
So yeah, you would. So the main purpose is, guess what? He's getting swung at. You're also going to die because of it.
Oh, you're getting attacked. Why is that coming towards me?
But regardless, she's phenomenal for the purpose of the deck,
Yep.
which you're trying to make wolves go wide.
Of course.
Now, we were planning on trying to kind of show you the cards in a better manner, but my camera does not like that with our current lighting setup. Just the different contrasts we have with our lights, and the fact that I tried showing what would happen if I brought it in closer. Didn't really pick up well until I got really close to the camera. I don't want to have to get up and constantly do that. I feel like that would get annoying.
100 cards.
Well, I feel like also get annoying watching someone do that all over and over and over again. It'd be time consuming, and you're like, oh, this is getting annoying. So, but we are going to talk about the cards that we feel like are important in relative detail. So we're going to go over the creatures first because that's the most important part of Saskia is hitting things with creatures. You can't hit things with lands unless you make the lands creatures first, which that's a whole different deck. So the first thing we'll go over the different wolves. So you do have a small food sub theme here.
Mainly taken most of it.
You did take most of it out.
Yes.
Okay, I was wondering why.
So I have two. I have the witch stalker wolf, and then
Wicked Wolf. Okay. I would recommend at least trying to. There's a card. Getting Gilded Goose specifically. If you're gonna keep Wicked Wolf, I would recommend putting Gilded Goose in. Mm-hmm. She just like she either makes mana by stacking off foods, or she makes foods.
Yeah. Oh, and I also have
the big
gingerbread.
Okay. But so the first card is Wicked Wolf. It's from Throne of Eldraine. It's a 4-mana 3/3 that whenever it enters the battlefield, it can fight something you don't control. So it enters, it fights something. You can sack a food, give it a +1/+1 counter, make it indestructible until the end of turn, and then you have to tap him for that though. But regardless, just go and fight that thing. Oh, what's this? How big is it? Blah, 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 blah. Now it's dead. And so definitely, making itself indestructible is also just getting a protection from something that would kill it normally.
Which Wicked Wolf is a pretty versatile card.
It can be. It definitely has. If you have the right setup for it, it can be very versatile. Next is Ulrich Kindred. It's mostly just a 3-mana 3/2 Wolf of Trample. It does have another ability which can be pretty helpful, which is you can pay 4 mana and 3 and a green, where the target attacking werewolf or wolf gains indestructible at the end of turn. So if you have enough mana, that can be effective, but more than likely it's only going to be targeting 1 or 2 cards more often, unless we get some. Because we're playing budget, we're not playing we're not playing certain cards that would allow us to go 28 mana. Oh, my wolf's indestructible.
Scoop.
The next card is actually one of my favorite cards from War of the Spark. Is Tolsmir, Friend of Wolves, or Friend to Wolves. When I saw this card, I think, wow, this card looks so much fun. Tolsmir, Friend to Wolves, and when he enters the battlefield, he creates a 3/3 Wolf token. So we have a legendary one, which is a Voja, Friend to Elves. Yeah, we have the token in his Garuk deck box.
Which is, I actually like this deck box a lot. It's really nice.
Honestly, like Ultra Pro does make some really good looking deck boxes. And I like how they're big enough for Commander. Like as much as I do love the deck boxes, the deck boxes that have the mana symbols on them. As much as I do love those, you can fit you can fit your deck in there and maybe a few tokens. But that's it. You really can't fit it. With the Ultra Pro ones, you have a lot of room. I mean, you really do.
In here, I've got the divider, one of the paper counters, and a small stack of tokens.
Yeah. Ultra Pro. Sponsor us.
You're pretty good.
they're already sponsoring. I watch them all the time. God dang it! I just forgot their names. They play Command Zone. They already sponsored the Command Zone.
All right, let's give them a try. Maybe they'll say yes to us.
You don't even have to send us product. You don't even have to send us money. Just
Sponsor us, please.
Actually, don't even send us money. Just send us sleeves. I don't care about anything else. Just send us
hell yeah.
sleeves.
I have an Ultra Pro box and a mat. So
I'll take boxes and sleeves.
Okay, so back to where we were. Tolsmir makes the 3/3 token. Whenever a wolf enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 3 life, and you can have that creature fight in their target. So one of the sub themes of this deck is fighting things. Just like you're making wolves, and you're having your wolves just fight and eat stuff down, which helps with your wolf lords, the few that you have that we're going to get to in a moment.
I'm a fan of his life game too.
That is also
an early game.
It can be very powerful in a when you're playing at a level of commander where you're not going super like, oh, we're facing this guy who's playing competitive, like none of that stuff.
Tristan.
He commented on our first episode. He goes, "Hey, I'm the guy who caused the power creep to happen." He commented on it. We have Thornhide Wolves, 4/5 for 5. Nothing too special there. We have the Scala.
Scala.
Yeah. I need to take my
Which
contacts
is my lucky charm. Every time that plays, I do pretty decent.
That's good to hear. Scala Wolf is a 3/3 for 5.
Let's see it.
It's a 3/3 for 5. When Scala Wolf enters the battlefield, look at the top 5 cards of your library, and you may reveal a green card among them and put it into your hand. You put the rest at the bottom of your library in any order. Just a good pseudo tutor. A Silver for Partisans, the next one, and I wanted to build a werewolf deck a while ago because of this card, and then but then when he told me, hey, I'm building a wolf deck, I'm like, come on, I want to build a wolf deck. He goes, a werewolf deck originally, and then he goes, I'm building it for Joe. I'm like, fine, all right, I'll give you all my stuff. So Silver for Partisan. He has trample. He's a 2/2 for 3. Whenever a wolf or a werewolf you control becomes the target of an instant or sorcery spell, you put a 2/2 wolf onto the battlefield. So a lot of times you can play like cards like playing instant sorceries that target him, that pump him up, or protect him. Such cards that we have in here. What was it? Like Blooming Defense, which will give a +2/+2 and hexproof. Like that alone. Oh, so you can protect. So now you can protect your partisan from being removed, giving hexproof, and then you're also making another threat.
It's all the pluses.
Scourge Wolf is next. He's a 2/2 for 2 red. First strike. He's double strike as long as if Delirium is going, which means you have 4 more card types among the cards in your graveyard.
I saw you playing this today. How high did you get? Like 16?
I got it to 19 before somebody blew it off the field.
Yeah, it needed to go.
Scourge Wolf.
Yeah.
It was getting ridiculous.
So next one is Scarred Wolf or Sacred Wolf. Once again,
Scarred.
Well, my contacts are not as good as my glasses.
Yeah.
Sacred Wolf can't be targeted spells or ability, so it technically is Shroud. It's Shroud before it became.
Yeah. Which that could be pretty.
Oh no, it's hexproof. As is your opponent's. Okay, that's actually hexproof. So it's a 3/1 for 3 with hexproof, which is still good. Not being able to be targeted because there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of board wipes in Commander, but there's a lot of single target. Just answer that because there are a lot of times you don't have the 5/6 mana to drop, or the 4, 5, 6 mana to drop to nuke the board.
Yeah.
A lot of times you'll just have I have 1 or 2 mana, kill that.
And I was excited to pick that up to put into the deck to use as my booster. And get it high enough to where they have to try and hex it off.
Yeah. Next card is Rut Wolf. It's a 3 mana card. It's a 3 mana 2/2 with Infect. When creatures dealt damage by him this turn is put into the graveyard, you may draw a card. So
I hate Infect.
I know you do. I also do not appreciate Infect at all. But I'm okay with people playing like 1 or 2 drop of an Infect in the deck. If the deck's totally devoted for Infect,
Attracts it.
Oh, not always. If you did build Attraxia for Infect, I do not enjoy playing against that because having a one-shot alternate win con just to kill one person, that's fine. Like here's my guy. I have one combo that allows me to boost them to kill someone. That's it. And so I only do like one turn at a time. I can't just go and do this, and everyone dies. I don't like the even though there's plenty of ways to do it, just go infinite and just ping everyone out, or just I win, everyone loses the game. Infect just feels different because it's just like, oh wow, you're instead of killing me I have 40 life and you kill me with 10 damage. It just I think Infect just kind of sits weird with people.
Yeah,
but
it's so easy to kill people off.
So next one is Quilled Wolf. It's a 2-mana 2/2 that if you pump 6 into it, it gets +4/+4 to end the turn. Pack Guardian. It's a 4/3 for 4 with flash. And when he enters the battlefield, you may discard a land card. If you do, make a 2/2 green wolf token. Next is Nyxborn Wolf. He is a 3/1 for 3 with bestow of 5, which means you treat him as a enchantment aura. And if you do bestow him on someone else, they get +3/+1.
That's one of the newer cards you got with Sacred Wolf, wasn't it?
Newer
Wolf,
cards in the deck.
Sacred,
Yeah.
Nyxborn, my commander, and yeah, that's so far that's
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's some cards that he picked up today. Yeah.
Well, when you say newer, make sure you specify newer to him, not
Yeah.
because that is not a newer
No, that's
card.
not. Yeah, I get you.
yeah.
The card came out
Yesterday.
like not Journey next, but Born in the Gods is when it
Yeah.
came out. Next one is Night Pack Ambusher. That's a newer card because they came out last year. Night Pack Ambusher is a 4/4 for 4 with flash. Other wolves and werewolves get +1/+1. And at the beginning of Instep, if you didn't cast a spell this turn, you create a 2/2 wolf. I mean, this card is a phenomenal wolf lord just because it's big by itself. It buffs everything else. You can put it in. I mean, this is great against like red board wipes or because red or black board wipes because a lot of them will just go black board wipe will say, okay, I'm doing everything is -3 or something like that.
Yeah.
And red board wipes are like deal 5 damage to everything. You go, oh crap, almost have a die. Now everything barely lives. Flash it in. So, or as a combat
Save
trick.
my butt.
Or even better, as a combat trick, where you go swing, no blocks. Everything gets so all these 5 guys tagging, they all get +1/+1, do more damage. So
See, that's a pretty handy trick.
he's a very versatile card. Next is Howling Giant. Not a wolf, but he brings
Works
wolves
with
in. This isn't the reason why I think Flickering would be great in the deck.
Mm-hmm.
So Howling Giant is a 5/5 for 7 with reach, and when he enters the battlefield, he creates two 2/2 green wolf tokens. And I feel like if you had like a little some cards out there, even just Destiny Door? No, Conjurer's Closet. That was it. If you have Conjurer's Closet, it's an artifact, so it's colorless.
Mm-hmm.
At the beginning of your instep, you flicker 1 card. So it's just instep. So you put this on board, and in every turn, you're making 2 more tokens. So I feel like that'd be a great just for like not even just for her, but even cards like this with strong ETBs.
Because
And none of this deck has flying or reach, so having him in
Oh yeah.
versus flyers, this again. we
And
get
speaking of
flyers.
ETBs, Fierce Witch Stalker, which you were talking about earlier, a 4/4 for 4 with trample. When he enters the battlefield, create a food token. That also works with that whole Rebel Conjurer's Closet. So you'd be able to flick every in turn, flicker him out, get more food, so you can power your Wicked Wolf.
Mm-hmm.
Next up is Exuberant Wolf Bear. I love this card. This card looks so cool. It's a 4/4 for 4. See a common theme here. Whenever he attacks, you may change the base power and toughness of target human you control to his power and toughness on the turn. So, not super great for most of the deck, although you do have a few humans. We'll get to those in a second, where that does work with. So, next card is Ember Eye Wolf. He's a 1/2 for 2. He has haste, and he's got kind of has fire breathing. Instead of paying 1 red to get +1/+0, it's pay a red and a colorless to get +2/+0. So it's kind of like it's a more restrictive fire breathing. Next is Arlen's Wolf.
It's a good push.
Well, no, it's a good card. I'm saying it's more restrictive. You got to pay 2 to activate to begin with.
Yeah, I get you.
While normal fire breathing is just 1.
Yeah, I get you.
Arlen's Wolf is a 3/2 for 3. Can be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less, so just getting by chump blockers. Next is Beast Whisperer. I love this card. Whenever you cast a creature spell, draw a card. It's just value. Just drawing cards. Next is Sage, the last werewolf in your deck.
One of two.
One of two. Oh, that's right. You have two. Oh, yeah. Planeswalker, yeah. The last creature that turns into a werewolf is Sage of Ancient Lore. When his power and toughness are equal to the number of cards in hand. When he enters the battlefield, draw a card. And at the beginning of each upkeep, if no spells were cast, you transform him. When he is transformed, he has Vigilance and Trample. He's Werewolf of Ancient Hunger. And his power and toughness now equal to the total power power and toughness are equal to the total amount of all cards in all players' hands. At the beginning of each upkeep, if a player casts 2 or more spells, transforms them back. Which I think that was the main issue you were having when you were playing this as just werewolves with wolves, is that it was hard to get your werewolves to transform at all without you feel like you're wasting a turn.
Yeah, and the only reason that she ended up staying was when you were playing Spell Slingers, how quickly she would ramp and drop and ramp and drop,
Yeah.
and everybody's like, that's not an okay card.
Yeah. Well, it's also just a power card in general because just in case, just in general.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like werewolves would have been better if you had cards that allowed you to if you had cards that allowed you to play your stuff at flash speed.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you had cards like Vidalcan Ori or the Druid's Grotto, whatever that card was. It's a land where you pay a blue and a green, tap it, and it gives everything a flash. Of course, you wouldn't just be able to play that because you don't have blue. But it's just in general, like if you had cards that allowed you to play stuff at flash speed, I feel like your werewolves would have been better then.
Mm-hmm.
So you had 5 or 6 cards that did that, because then you could have held your mana and go in turn, werewolves transform, and then I play more werewolf stuff on my opponent's turns.
Yeah.
I feel like that would have been better, but you like wolves better than werewolves, though.
Yeah.
The next one is Paragon of Eternal Wilds. It's a 2/2 for 4. Other green creatures you control get +1/+1. Your deck's mostly green creatures. You do have some stuff that require. You do have some sort of cards that require white, some that require red. So far, and although your deck's mostly a green deck, so Paragon of Eternal Wilds is just a solid card for your old deck. And also, she can pay a green and tap herself to give another target green creature trample, which is just good.
Yeah, I picked her up today too.
Next is Yavimaya Dryad. She's a 2/1 for 3 with Forest Walk. When she comes into the battlefield, or comes into play, come to the battlefield, you may search your library for a forest card and put it onto your field tapped. Oh, actually says, put it in play tapped under target player's control. So you can just give someone a forest. You would never generally, but you can.
Well, I mean, if I'm going for a game-winning hit, that's a good way to play. Because she's got Forest Walk, so I give that person a forest if they've got 2 life left.
You could.
Swing.
You could, but more than likely though, this would be just. This is an 8 forest card. It's not even limited to a basic land.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get one of the triomes that any of the triomes that have a forest in it that don't have blue. So that pretty much allows you to go, oh cool, I searched this card that taps for 3 different kinds of mana that helps fix my mana problems. That's powerful.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Next is Sakura Tribe Scout, 1/1 for 1. Tap her, put a land from your hand to the battlefield. So just good card. It's pseudo ramp. It's getting cards from your hand to lands from your hand to the battlefield. So Rosethorn Acolyte, probably a card we can take out soon.
Yeah.
It's a 2/3 for 2, or for 2/3 for 3. You can tap for any color mana. But he does have an adventure sorcery, which allows him to add 1 mana of any color, or you pay green to do that. So that's mana fixing, and he kind of is mana fixing because he taps for any color, so that is pretty good. But he may be on the chopping block because 3 mana is a lot. But even still, getting early game mana fixing still is pretty good because you're mostly green. But in case you need, I need the red right now, or I need the white. Boom, there it is now. Landmore Elves, it's Twig. It's Twig. It's
one.
Twig. That's what my friends used to. When I first got into Magic, that's what they referred to Landmore Elves or Elvish Mystic as. They referred to them as Twig.
Oh, because they give what they.
Because they're not. It's not a full forest. It's Twig. Next is Budoka Gardener. He's one of those flip cards where they start off on one side and they rotate over after they reach a certain condition. Budoka Gardener is a 2/1 for 2. May put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield, and if you control 10 or more lands, you flip him. And when he flips, he's a 3/3 that you can pay 6 and tap him and create an X green elemental creature token equal to your lands. Pretty good card. Kind of fills the same role as the Sakura Tribe Scout, just getting lands out from your hand onto the battlefield. Pseudo ramp. So those are the creatures.
I feel like there's some improvement. I'm missing wolves that I want.
Which I recommended Card Kingdom to look through just because they're very. It's easier to kind of. I love TCG Player just because I can generally find the cheapest. I find the cheapest prices on TCG Player, but I hate having to find to see if one person has all the cards I need, one seller has all the cards I need. Otherwise, I'm paying shipping on all these 10, 20-cent cards, and I hate that. One of the upsides to Card Kingdom is you get to. It's all one source, so you don't have to pay shipping on each one of these individual 20-cent, 10-cent cards. You're paying shipping for the whole thing. So you go, I'm gonna get 15, 20 cents cards and a $7 card. Okay, the shipping's $1 or $2, whatever it is. Yeah. It's all bundled for that whole thing, which that is nice. That I do like that because I just recently bought a bunch of bears from Card Kingdom. That's actually one of the reasons why my bear deck's been in limbo for so long.
Because you don't have them.
Well, because I don't want to spend $2 or $1.50 on a 10-cent bear because of shipping.
Yeah.
So I was like, and a friend of mine said, "Well, Card Kingdom doesn't do that." So I checked it out, and now I ordered. I think I ordered 33 cards, most of them bears.
Well, I mean that's fair. I would love to face wolves versus bears at some point.
It'd be and the best part is one of the main themes of both decks is fighting. So because that's what the bear commander does.
It would look like a boxing match.
It's just giant bears and giant wolves and bears just going at it. That'd be a hell of a.
We'd have to do a 1-on-1.
Yeah, definitely. I think we'll definitely do actual games in the future.
Yeah.
All right, so next time we're going to go over some of the artifacts. We just got off the topic of ramp, bit with your last few cards, pseudo ramp. We're going to actual ramp, with the Amaryllis Sphere, Armorelli Sphere.
That has saved me so many times.
It's a really good artifact. 2 mana to play it. You pay 2 of any color, tap it. You sacrifice it. You get 2 basics. And you put them on, and you get them to your hand. Now, which works well with those pseudo ramp cards you have. Because you're getting to your hand, you don't get in the battlefield, but it still works. Command Sphere. This is my favorite of the 3 mana artifacts that tap for 1 mana. I don't really like 3 mana artifacts that tap for 1 mana because you're only getting 1 mana out of the 3 you posted. 1 mana right off the bat.
Yeah, but this is every mana that you need.
It is every mana you need, and I think the card, what really makes this worth it is it can sack itself off for a draw. So it it helps balance it out to where it's worth it. Like Darksteel Ingot, I think is a good card, but I just don't like because other than it being indestructible, it's doing nothing but just being. I tap for any mana you need, but it's you put 3 mana into me.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, having an indestructible artifact's not bad. Though.
No, it's not bad. It's definitely somewhat worth it. But Silesian Signet, it's 2 mana. You have to put a mana into it and tap it to get green white. But let's say you had 3 mana already, you paid 2, you played this. Now you have 2 more mana. Now this gives you a mana effectively. Mm-hmm. So it gives you half of what you put into it at least.
Yeah.
You tap that, boom. So that's what I'm kind of talking about. Like that, you ideally want to at least get half. Which is why one of the reasons why Soul Ring is just a busted card because it's 1 mana and gives you 2. Soul Ring.
Everyone needs it.
It's too good not to. It is by far the commander staple. And if Commander has a power 9, this card's in it. This card's just
too much.
It's too good. Like obviously there are cards like Mana Vault and Mana Crypt, which are technically better, but they're expensive. First off, and secondly, they have drawbacks to them. Mana Crypt, you have to untap. You have to pay mana to untap it. Even though it gives you 3 mana, you still have to pay mana to untap it. And I said Mana Crypt, yeah, no Mana Vault and. No, Crypt is the one that does that. Mana Vault is the one that where every turn you have to roll a die. You have to flip a coin and roll a dice to make sure if it doesn't shock or lightning bolt you. But it's free though. It costs 0 mana, but it taps for 2.
Got it.
So those are technically more powerful cards than Soul Ring, but they have drawbacks. Soul Ring has no drawbacks. It's just pay 1, you get 2. Next is Traveler's Amulet. Takes 1 to cast. You can pay 1, sack it, add a basic land to your hand. This goes well with the whole the pseudo ramp cards you have. Those cards play well with it. I feel like we do might need. I mean, some other artifact ramps we might put in your deck, maybe. But we'll get there. We'll get to that bridge when we get there. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. There we go. So speaking of ramp, we'll go more into ramp. So sorceries, rampant growth. Search your library for a basic land, put on the battlefield tab. Doesn't get more simple than that. Iconic. You're playing green. Play rampant growth. Next one is Circuitous Route. You search your library for 2 basic lands or gate cards, put them on the battlefield tab. It's a 4-drop. So this is what I'm talking about. Like so ramp. This gives you for 2 mana you get one out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Comes in tapped or but you're still getting a land out. You're getting 1 land for 2 mana.
Yeah.
This is giving you 2 land for 4 mana, so you're getting half. That's the goal you want.
That's the good things.
Cultivate is better because it's 3 mana. It puts 1 on the battlefield and 1 into your hand.
And I actually played that hard earlier. I didn't play a land for turn because I didn't have one.
Yeah, but you cultivate.
And then I got 1 to hand, had that activate.
Yeah, that's the best. That's the best feeling because you're like, oh, good. I accelerated my land I needed, and I got the land and got continue my land drop. When you miss land drops, it sucks. Next one is Farseek. Search your library for a plains, island, swamp, or mountain. So you get to look for anything except an island because you don't play islands.
Which is perfectly fine for this deck.
Yeah. And you put on Battlefield tab, shelf your library. It's a slightly more limited version of Rampant Growth, but at the same time it's not. At the same time it's actually technically better, because Rampant Growth has to search basics. This does not say basic.
Mm-hmm.
So Farseek is great because you can search like the triomes or when you start increasing the value of the deck. Yeah. But or even some of the more cheaper dual lands that have the actual land types in.
Right now I have 1 Triome in my deck. He's a savage.
Yeah, and now you can search that with Farseek. So it's definitely.
Are you sure about that with the wording? Because it says plains, island, swamp, or mountain.
Yeah.
Specifically.
Yeah,
but like, if I'm targeting.
No, this is a Savage Land. It's not a Triome.
Oh.
And so the Triomes actually say mountain, forest, island. That's why the Triomes are so good. They tap for 3, but they're fetchable. They come in tap, but being fetchable makes them so good in that manner. That's why most of them are like at least like $5-6.
Oh man.
Even though they're not better than these lands by virtue of what they do. Mm-hmm. They're better because they're fetchable.
Got it.
So, which that makes a world of difference. Next up is Track Down, which is 2 mana, scry 3. Reveal the top card of your library, and if it's a creature or land card,